In the vast cosmic ocean, something extraordinary is happening. Voyager 1, Earth's most distant spacecraft, has recently made headlines once again. This time it's not just about its incredible journey through interstellar space, but a surprising development that has reignited excitement among scientists and space enthusiasts alike. For over 4 decades, Voyager 1 has been traveling farther and farther from our planet, sending back valuable data about the universe beyond our solar system. But recently, a mysterious malfunction had left scientists puzzled and concerned. Commands sent to Voyager 1 were not producing the expected responses. The data being received was garbled, almost like a cryptic message from the void. 4 months, NASA's team worked tirelessly trying to diagnose the problem, exploring every possible angle, but with limited tools and communication delays of over 22 hours each way, it seemed almost impossible. However, a breakthrough has emerged and it's nothing short of astonishing. Engineers discovered a clever solution that utilized Voyager 1's ancient backup systems that hadn't been activated in decades. They successfully managed to re-establish a more stable communication link, allowing Voyager 1 to send coherent data back to Earth once again. This incredible achievement highlights not only human ingenuity but also the resilience of a spacecraft designed in the 1970s, built with technology that today would seem laughably primitive, yet still capable of surviving and operating in the harsh environment of deep space. But how exactly did this happen? What does this mean for Voyager 1's future? And what secrets might it still reveal as it continues its lonely voyage among the stars? The story of Voyager 1 began in 1977, when NASA launched the spacecraft with the primary mission of exploring the outer planets of our solar system. Equipped with a suite of scientific instruments, Voyager 1 delivered breathtaking images and groundbreaking data from Jupiter and Saturn, transforming our understanding of these giant planets. After completing its primary mission, Voyager 1 continued its journey outward, becoming the first human-made object to enter interstellar space in 2012. Even now, nearly 48 years later, it remains operational, a testament to the extraordinary craftsmanship of its creators. But as the spacecraft aged, the risks of technical malfunctions increased. And indeed, in late 2023, a critical issue emerged. Voyager 1 began sending back unintelligible data, confusing the engineers at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Normally, telemetry data includes information about the spacecraft's health, status, and environment, but suddenly the signals became garbled, repeating nonsensical patterns over and over again. The problem was traced to the Flight Data Subsystem (FDS), a vital part of Voyager's communication architecture responsible for formatting and transmitting information back to Earth. Unfortunately, diagnosing and repairing issues in a spacecraft over 15 billion miles away isn't easy. Commands take almost a full day to reach Voyager 1, and even longer to receive a response. Imagine trying to fix a broken computer that's so far away that every action you take takes nearly 2 days to confirm. It's a logistical nightmare. Faced with these daunting obstacles, the engineers had to get creative. They combed through dusty old manuals, some of which were scanned from yellowed pages written by engineers long since retired or passed away. They consulted original blueprints, diagrams, and notes, a treasure trove of forgotten knowledge from the early days of the space age. In their search, they found mention of a backup system designed in case the primary systems failed. It was a long shot, but it offered a glimmer of hope. Voyager 1 was equipped with redundant components, but switching to them required precise instructions, and a single wrong command could have permanently severed the fragile connection with the spacecraft. The team proceeded with extreme caution, testing and double-checking every step. Finally, in early 2025, NASA made the daring decision to attempt the switch. They sent a series of commands instructing Voyager 1 to reroute its telemetry through the backup hardware. Days passed in tense anticipation. Every engineer involved knew the risks. When the first coherent signals returned, cheers erupted in the mission control room. Against all odds, Voyager 1 had responded. It was like hearing a faint whisper from a long-lost explorer on the other side of a vast, dark ocean. This success was more than just a technical triumph. It was an emotional moment, a reminder of humanity's enduring spirit of exploration. For many of the engineers, some of whom had spent their entire careers on the Voyager missions, it was deeply personal. With communication partially restored, scientists could once again monitor Voyager 1's health and operations. The data revealed that despite the malfunction, many of the spacecraft's instruments were still functioning remarkably well. Instruments like the Cosmic Ray Subsystem and the Low-Energy Charged Particle Detector were still collecting valuable information about the interstellar environment. These measurements are crucial for understanding the nature of the space between stars, a region that remains largely mysterious even today. Voyager 1's observations have already reshaped scientific models of the heliosphere, the protective bubble created by our sun's magnetic field. Now, with its new lease on life, the spacecraft can continue to provide insights into this uncharted frontier. Of course, Voyager 1 is not immortal. Its power source, a plutonium-based radioisotope thermoelectric generator, RTG, continues to degrade slowly. NASA has already had to shut down several non-essential systems over the years to conserve energy. Eventually, there will come a time when Voyager 1 falls silent forever. Some estimates suggest that the spacecraft may be able to continue limited operations until around 2030, but no one knows for sure. The fact that it has survived this long is already a miracle. And now, with communication partially restored, Voyager 1's final years may be even more productive than anyone dared hope. It's a reminder that in space exploration, persistence, creativity, and a willingness to reach beyond the apparent limits often lead to extraordinary results. Voyager 1's journey also holds a deeper symbolic meaning. Attached to the spacecraft is the famous Golden Record, a phonograph record containing sounds and images from Earth, intended as a message to any extraterrestrial life that might encounter the spacecraft in the distant future. The record includes greetings in 55 languages, music from different cultures and eras, and a selection of natural sounds from our planet. In a sense, Voyager 1 carries humanity's calling card into the universe. It is a silent ambassador, drifting through the stars, bearing witness to the existence of life on a small blue planet orbiting an ordinary star. As it continues its voyage, it invites us to imagine a universe teeming with possibilities, mysteries yet to be uncovered, and perhaps other beings looking up at their own night skies, wondering if they are alone. The successful revival of Voyager 1's communications is not just a technical story. It's an inspiring testament to what can be achieved when determination meets ingenuity. It reminds us that even when things seem hopeless, when the odds appear insurmountable, there is always a path forward, if we are willing to search for it. Voyager 1's voice, faint though it may be, continues to echo across the cosmos, carrying with it the hopes, dreams, and indomitable spirit of humanity. Its journey is a story of resilience, of daring, and of the boundless curiosity that drives us to explore the unknown. And as long as its tiny signal reaches us across the vastness of space, it will continue to inspire generations to look up at the stars and wonder what lies beyond. Voyager 1's story doesn't just highlight technical marvels or incredible engineering. It also touches something much deeper within us, the human desire to reach out into the unknown. Even now, as it drifts silently through the void, far beyond the influence of our sun, Voyager 1 continues to connect us to a much larger cosmic story. Every faint signal it sends back is a reminder that we are part of a vast universe, and that our curiosity and longing to understand it are perhaps among the most defining features of humanity. As we listen for Voyager's whispers across the unimaginable distances, we are reminded of how small we are, yet how far our dreams can travel when fueled by vision and courage. When scientists first realized that Voyager 1 was having problems, many feared that this might be the beginning of the end for the historic mission. After all, the spacecraft had already far exceeded its expected lifetime. Designed for a primary mission of just 5 years, Voyager 1 had somehow survived for nearly half a century. The realization that a malfunction might silence it forever weighed heavily on the hearts of those who had devoted their lives to this project. But the decision to tap into the backup systems reflected a profound trust in the ingenuity of those who had built Voyager so many decades ago. It was a gamble based on hope, knowledge, and the belief that even after all this time, there was still a way to bring Voyager's voice back from the silence. The strategy worked better than anyone dared hope. Once Voyager 1 was rerouted to its backup telemetry system, engineers could once again receive meaningful data. It wasn't perfect, the spacecraft was still fragile and communication was still painstakingly slow, but it was enough. It was enough to breathe life back into a mission that had been teetering on the edge of finality. Engineers are now cautiously optimistic that they can continue receiving scientific data for at least a few more years. Every additional byte of information Voyager 1 sends is priceless, offering a glimpse into an environment that no other spacecraft has ever entered. Even now, Voyager is detecting particles and fields that tell the story of a region of space once thought to be utterly empty but now known to be dynamic and full of surprises. One of the fascinating discoveries made by Voyager 1 in interstellar space is the unexpected presence of dense plasma waves. When it crossed the heliopause, the boundary where the sun's influence ends and interstellar space begins, scientists expected Voyager 1 to encounter a relatively calm environment. Instead, they found a region filled with turbulent magnetic fields and high-energy particles. These findings have forced researchers to rethink their models of the heliosphere and the surrounding galactic environment. Voyager 1's data suggest that the interstellar medium is not a smooth, quiet place, but a dynamic and sometimes violent environment, shaped by shock waves from ancient supernovae and interactions between magnetic fields and cosmic rays. Every new piece of data Voyager sends adds a new chapter to this unfolding story. There is something poetic about the way Voyager 1 has continued its journey, silent, battered, aging, yet still striving forward into the dark. It mirrors humanity's own struggle to understand its place in the universe. Voyager 1 carries with it the ambitions and dreams of countless scientists, engineers, and visionaries who dared to believe that a tiny craft could represent humanity to the stars. Even the golden record on board, carefully etched with messages, music, and images from Earth, speaks to a hopeful vision of connection across the cosmic gulf. Will anyone or anything ever find Voyager 1, drifting alone in the interstellar night? We may never know. But the fact that we tried, that we sent our greeting into the unknown, says something beautiful and profound about who we are. The backup transmitter that Voyager 1 is now using is a relic from a bygone era of technology. Its processors are primitive compared to even the most basic modern devices, yet it performs its task with remarkable efficiency. The engineers who designed it had no idea that their creation would still be functioning nearly half a century later. Back then, they built for durability, for reliability, and for the sheer possibility that Voyager's journey might last longer than anyone imagined. That foresight has paid off in ways they could scarcely have dreamed. In a world where so much of our technology is disposable and ephemeral, Voyager 1 is a reminder of what is possible when we build with care, patience, and vision for the future. Restoring Voyager 1's communication link required not just technical skill but also a kind of archaeological work. Many of the original team members who had worked on Voyager's design had long since retired, and some had passed away. The documentation from that era was often incomplete, scattered across different archives, and stored in outdated formats. NASA engineers had to dig deep into historical records, piecing together old schematics, handwritten notes, and engineering drawings to understand the spacecraft's ancient systems. It was a painstaking process, a race against time to understand Voyager's failing hardware before it slipped away forever. But in doing so, they not only saved the mission, they also preserved a vital piece of human history. The emotional impact of Voyager 1's revival cannot be overstated. For many of the engineers, Voyager is not just another spacecraft. It is a symbol of their life's work, their dreams made real in metal and circuits, hurtling through space. Saving Voyager 1's voice felt personal, almost like saving a dear old friend who had been lost. When the first intelligible signal came back, it was more than a technical success. It was a profoundly human moment filled with relief, joy, and wonder. It reinforced the bond between the spacecraft and those who have dedicated their lives to tending its lonely journey through the stars. In saving Voyager 1, they saved a piece of themselves and a piece of humanity's reach for the infinite. Now, with its partial functionality restored, Voyager 1's scientific mission can continue, albeit with growing challenges. Each year, the power output of its RTG declines by about 4 watts. Systems have been carefully prioritized. Instruments deemed essential for science are kept alive, while heaters and other secondary systems are turned off to conserve power. The spacecraft is operating on a shoestring, surviving on ingenuity and careful management. It's a delicate balance, a race between the dwindling power supply and the vast unknown that still lies ahead. But as long as Voyager 1 can whisper even the faintest message back to Earth, humanity will listen and it will learn. Looking forward, NASA plans to continue communicating with Voyager 1 for as long as possible. Engineers are already considering strategies to maximize the spacecraft's lifespan, including further reprogramming and perhaps using even more of the ancient backup systems. They know the end will come, but they are determined to stretch the mission's life as far as possible, squeezing every last drop of discovery from this extraordinary Voyager. It is a race against time, against entropy, and against the fading energy of a spacecraft that has already outlived all reasonable expectations. When the day finally comes that Voyager 1 falls silent, it will mark the end of an era. But its legacy will endure. Long after its last transmission fades into the background hiss of space, Voyager 1 will continue its journey. It will keep traveling through the galaxy for millions, perhaps even billions, of years, carrying with it the story of a species that once looked up at the stars and decided to reach for them. It will remain as a silent witness, a lonely traveler, a testament to human curiosity and the quest to understand the universe. Long after we are gone, Voyager 1 will still be out there, gliding silently among the stars. As we reflect on Voyager 1's incredible journey and recent revival, we are reminded of the fragility and resilience of our own existence. In a universe that is vast, cold, and indifferent, Voyager's tiny beacon of humanity shines all the brighter. It calls out across the cosmic darkness, a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming odds, we endure, we explore, we dream. And sometimes, against all expectations, we succeed. Voyager 1's story is not just about a spacecraft, it's about us. It's about who we are, what we value,